Hello and welcome to Power by Lamian, a channel for valuable and informational content. In this second challenge video, I challenge myself to do the split in a week. As before, I will show my before, during and after results for you to see. You know how it is here. Before we jump into doing anything, we got to do some research on it first. After looking around, I've decided to do the wikiHow, how to do the split in a week or less. Now, I know that some of you might be wondering why on earth I would do that, because if you have been on the internet long enough, you have seen some videos on failed advice or information from wikiHow. But hey, it's co-authored by certified strength and conditioning specialist. I looked at the stretches recommended and found it to be quite good. Wouldn't hurt to try it. So here's a breakdown of the article. Method 1, I would say this is more like part 1 because the article doesn't offer you 3 methods to achieve a split, rather it offers 3 parts on how to achieve the split. So part 1, do your stretches for 30 to 60 seconds. 1. Straddle stretch, targets hamstrings, lower back, inner thighs and calves. Straddle toe touch right. Straddle toe touch left. Straddle forward. 2. Seated toes touch, targets hamstrings and lower back. Standing toes touch. 3. Butterfly, targets groin and inner thighs. 4. Low lunge right, targets hips. Low lunge left. 5. Quads stretch right. Quads stretch left. Hamstrings stretch right. Hamstrings stretch left. Method 2 or parts 2 practicing tips. Warm-up. Practice for 15 minutes twice a day, 3 times or better. Get a friend to help you. Wear the right clothing. Know your limits. Method 3 or part 3 getting into the split. Get ready in the position. Lower slowly. Relax your muscles. Hold for 30 to 60 seconds. Aim for over split. Here's my conclusion to the article. You may want to ask a friend to join you or help you in this challenge to give you support and help push you to do your best. Do choose comfortable and flexible clothing to do the stretches or poses, and non-flexible clothing will hinder you from going deeper into the poses. Know your limit. You may feel the intense stretch but never pain. Now, according to the article, one must warm up for 5 to 10 minutes first by running or doing jumping jacks to prevent pulled muscles. However, I didn't find the need to do it as I have a bit of experience in practicing and teaching yoga. I know how to enter and exit a pose without hurting myself. For beginners and others, however, that's a different case. With that out of the way, the article further suggests that I should practice for 15 minutes twice a day. Therefore, I broke down the stretches into 15 moves and holding each stretch for 1 minute. The 15 stretches are as followed. Straddle stretch, targets hamstrings, lower back, inner thighs and calves. Straddle toe touch right. Straddle toe touch left. Straddle forward. Seated toes touch, targets hamstrings and lower back. Standing toes touch. Butterfly, targets groin and inner thighs. Low lunge right, targets hips. Low lunge left. Quads stretch right. Quads stretch left. Hamstrings stretch right. Hamstrings stretch left. Split right. Split left. With that said, let's jump into day 1. As soon as I start to get into the first move, I can feel that I'm very tense and stiff as I have not worked out or stretched in months. Holding this first pose for 1 minute was not easy for me. Notice for this straddle pose, you should keep your legs as straight as possible with the feet flexed and toes pointing up. You may use a wall to help you with this pose by sitting in a position facing the wall and push yourself towards the wall in the straddle pose. Also, remember to keep the back as straight and upright as possible in this pose. Stretch 2 is the straddle toe touch right. Lean towards the right side to touch the toes. Remember to keep your spine as straight as possible and not round your back just to try to touch your toes. Take your time in the beginning. You may not reach your toes at first like me, but eventually, you will be able to. Wherever you are at right now, it's okay, you are just fine where you are at now. You will improve as you practice more and go deeper into the pose. With each inhalation, try to lengthen and straighten your spine, and with each exhalation, try to fall lower and stretch deeper. Stretch 3 is the straddle toe touch left. The same principles apply. Lean towards the left side to touch the toes. Remember to keep your spine as straight as possible and not round your back just to try to touch your toes. Take your time here. You may not reach your toes at first like me, but eventually, you will be able to. Wherever you are at right now, it's okay, you are just fine where you are at now. You will improve as you practice more and go deeper into the pose. You may notice the flexibility with one side of your body is different from the other. It's completely normal. Remember, with each inhalation, try to lengthen and straighten your spine, and with each exhalation, try to fall lower and stretch deeper. Stretch 4 is straddled forward. In this pose, try to get your hands or fingers down on the ground. Slowly walk the hands or move the hands forward with a straight back and spine. Remember, with each inhalation, try to lengthen and straighten your spine, and with each exhalation, try to fall lower and stretch deeper. You may notice here that my back is not perfectly straightened. That's why it would be better to have a friend to help you or to film yourself and see how you can improve next time. You can also practice in front of a mirror so you can fix and adjust your posture right away. Stretch 5 is seated toes touch. Always remember to inhale to lengthen and straighten the spine and exhale to fall forward with a straight spine. Repeat with each inhalation and exhalation to go deeper into the stretch. Don't round your back. It's okay to not reach out to touch your toes at the beginning like me. You may only be able to rest your hand on your thighs or calves instead of your toes right now, and that is perfectly fine. Stretch 6 is standing toes touch. The same principles for seated toes touch apply here. Inhale to lengthen and straighten the spine and exhale to fall forward with a straight spine. Repeat with each inhalation and exhalation to go deeper into the stretch. Don't round your back. It's okay to not reach out to touch your toes at the beginning like me. You may only be able to rest your hand on your thighs or calves instead of your toes right now, and that is all right. In the standing version, try to lean your weight slowly towards the ball of your feet and toes by moving the hips forward. Again, having a mirror, a friend, or recording yourself here will help you improve your posture. Stretch 7 is the butterfly pose. In this pose, try to bring your feet as close to the hips area as possible and try to push the knees down towards the ground. Remember to keep the spine straight and use your breathing as a guide to deepen your stretch. Inhale to lengthen and straighten the spine and exhale to fall forward with a straight spine. Stretch 8 is low lunge right. In this pose, try to keep the front leg at a 90-degree angle or slightly bigger but not smaller as to not put a strain on the knees. Sink the hips with a straight spine and feel the stretch slightly on the top of the back leg. As noticed, you may use folded towels or other tools for more padding support on the back knee. For this pose, having a mirror, a friend, or recording yourself will help you improve your posture. Stretch 9 is low lunge left. The same principles apply here from low lunge right. Remember, it's okay to feel that one side of your body is more flexible than the other. Stretch 10 is quad stretch right. This stretch requires a bit more balancing. Therefore, you can use a wall or blocks for support. Start from a low lunge, bend the back knee and reach the arm out to grab the foot. Pull the foot towards the butt. Stretch 11 is quad stretch left. The same principles for quad stretch left apply here. Stretch 12 is the hamstring stretch right. For this pose, you may use tools such as a strap, scarf or belt. Wrap the tool around the ball of your foot and pull it down. Try to keep the leg as straight as possible. Using the tool will help you get a deeper stretch. Again, for this pose, having a mirror, a friend, or recording yourself will help you improve your posture. Stretch 13 is the hamstring stretch left. The same principles for hamstring stretch right apply here. Remember, it's fine to feel that one side of your body is more flexible than the other. Stretch 14 is the split right. At last, we are getting to the split. For this pose, you may need tools such as padding for the knee and blocks or similar sturdy tools like books to support you getting down and up. Starting from the low lunge position, slowly straighten the front leg and slide forward to lower into a split pose. Remember to breathe and relax while keeping the body engaged in the position. Focus and stay balanced. Keep the spine straight and upright while trying to sink the hips lower as you go deeper into the pose. Practicing in front of a mirror, having a friend there, or recording yourself will help you improve your posture. Stretch 15 is the split left. The same principles for split rights apply here. Remember, it's alright to feel that one side of your body is more flexible than the other. From here, we will look at the second practice of day 1. As soon as I started, I can tell that I was a lot warmer. As you can see from the photo, my body can lean forward a bit more in the straddle pose on the lower photo. For stretch 2, straddle toes touch right, I was able to reach lower as well since my body felt a lot warmer after the first stretch. For stretch 3, straddle toes touch left, though my left side is the less flexible side, I was still able to stretch lower and deeper in this pose. Stretch 4, straddle forward, as you can see here, I was unable to put my palms down in the first practice but I was able to in the second one. For stretch 5, seated toes touch, I was able to stretch further and deeper as well. Stretch 6, standing toes touch. I was able to pull my upper body closer to the legs. Stretch 7, butterfly. You can't tell from the photos but my hips felt a lot warmer and opened for the second practice. For stretches 8 and 9, low lunge right and left, there's not much difference in the photos but if you notice I was better able to be upright and sink the hips lower to deepen the stretch. Stretch 10 and 11, quad stretch right and left. The same thing here. In practice 1, I was less balanced and needed blocks for support but I was better able to balance myself in the second practice. Stretch 12 and 13, hamstring stretch right and left. I wouldn't say I improved by a lot because I'm still trying to adjust and get a better stretch. And finally for stretches 14 and 15, splits right and left. I was for sure better in the right on the second practice. I was able to sink lower and be more upright. The left doesn't seem like much change but there was a bit of improvement. My reflection after the 2 practices after day 1 is that long-term of not doing workouts does make your body stiffer. However, since it hasn't been that long since I stopped practicing, my body's condition wasn't that bad and I saw a big improvement in one day. After day 1, I felt soreness, especially in the calves, and inner thighs. From the start of day 2, I feel soreness in the inner thighs. Later, when attempting the second try that day, I can feel that the soreness has gotten a lot worse. This is the most intense day so far. If you look at the day 2 photos comparisons, you'll notice similar performance in some, improvements in others and a decrease in performances in the remaining. Feel free to pause at any photo to take a deeper look at the differences. The soreness on day 3 was slightly better and by the second practice on this day, I was feeling my best. Crazy how I had my worst day on day 2 but my best day right after on day 3. With that said, once again feel free to pause at the clips to view differences in improvements on the day 3 poses, stretches. For day 4, I was pretty much feeling normal and could hold poses longer and the poses feel better when held longer. From here day 5 to 7 feels pretty much the same. I keep on noticing and feeling slightly warmer and going deeper into stretches. Here's the remaining video with my progress with some royalty-free music. Do watch till the end to see my final result and hear my final thoughts. By the end of the 7 days, I was able to get my calves to touch the ground. The gap between my legs and ground is also significantly less. These stretches are effective. I do think that continuing it will eventually help me achieve the splits. I would probably make a follow-up video on this when I do finally achieve the full split, but for now, that's all the video. I hope you find this interesting to watch. Thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.